Hey everybody, so this is going to be a quick video on how to make a bar graph. Now, since we're doing bar graphs because everybody's IVs were all categorical. If one of your predictors had been continuous, then you would needed to have done a line graph. But since all of our predictors are bar graphs, I'll show you how to do that. So, I'm going to share the screen with you. Now what I've done here is I've ran a one-way ANOVA and a factorial ANOVA. And I use the same method to do both, so you can run your one-way ANOVA by going to compare means one-way ANOVA, but for the sake of this time, I did it by clicking Analyze, General Linear Model, Univariate, and then I only put one of the IVs into the fixed factor box. Clicked OK, gave me this, and then here is the output for the factorial ANOVA. Now, I'm going to be pulling information from this table when I do the bar graph for the factorial ANOVA, and from this table when I'm doing the bar graph for the one-way ANOVA. So let's start with the one-way ANOVA. So again, here's the information I need, so I'm just going to pop open an Excel sheet. I know that meant that the 0 in this dominance meant that they received the non-dominant profile, and the 1 meant that they got the dominant profile. So down here in Excel, I'm going to put and then back in my output, I'm going to take these numbers. So 3.29 and 3.43. Now, and I know that the numbers are covering up the words, and that's fine. That's not going to hurt anything. Highlight all of those, insert, column, bar graph. Boom. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it APA formatted. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete these cross lines. I'm going to format the axis. I'm going to change the numbers on the axis because you want the bottom number on the axis to be the bottom possible number that they could have answered, and the top number to be the highest possible number that they could have answered. So remember, on this DV, the range of values was from 1 to 5. So in fixed minimum, I'll put 1. In fixed maximum, I'll put 5, not 58, 5, and close, and there you go. Now you can see how it's creating additional tallies. I don't like that, so what we're going to do, and it doesn't really go well with APA format, so I'm just going to change this to 1, and this to nothing. Close, and there you go. Right? Now, I need all of this to be in Times New Roman, so I'm just going to click the table as a whole. I'm going to go up to Home, and I'm going to change it to Times New Roman. I also need it to be in 12-point font. Boom. Now, color isn't part of APA format. I think they recently changed it so you can include color, but traditionally we'd want this to be in shades of gray or black and white. Traditionally black and white, and so the way we can do that is we just make one solid black and the other one a gradient. How do we do that? We're going to click on 1, and you notice how when I originally clicked on it there were dots on all 4, so I'll do it again. So you see how there's dots there, there, and there. If I leave it like that and edit it, it's going to edit both bars. So I need to click again so that now the dots are only on this one. You see that they're not over here. Now I'm going to right click, go to Format Data Point. I'm going to go to Fill, Solid Fill, change the color to black, border color, solid line, change it to black, close, boom. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Again, I've clicked over here toward the point where the dots are only on this, not on this one. Right click, Format Data Point, Fill. I'm actually going to use a pattern fill this time. And which one you use doesn't matter, but usually they use a diagonal. So I'm going to check diagonal. Then I've got to change the border line again. So I'm going to click border color, solid line. It auto corrects to black. Cool. And I've got my bars formatted. Now the last thing we need to do is put a y-axis over here. So what I do is I click on the plotting area, click on this dot, and I pull it over. Now what I'm doing is I'm moving the second line to where it matches up with where the first line was. That gives me a little space over here on the left side. So then I'm going to go up here to insert, text box. I'm going to make it centered, make sure it's Times New Roman, put it in 12-point font, and I'm going to type in the DV. The DV in here was impressions. Cool. Now I need it to turn 45 degrees. So I'm going to click on that green dot and pull it to where it moves 40, so it changes its orientation. Then I'm just going to move it over here, line it up as best I can to where it's as centered as I can possibly make it, and done. All right, that's how you format it. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing for the factorial, but it's going to be a little bit, really the only thing that changes is this part. Okay, so I know that in my for my profile condition, these are the two conditions. So I'm going to paste those down. Oop. I'm going to copy those up here, paste them down here. I also know that there were two motive conditions. There was a mating motive condition, and there was a self-protection condition. So now I go back to my output, and I go to my factorial ANOVA. I'm going to get those numbers from here. So I need the people who got, I need the value for the people in the mating condition who got the non-dominant profile. All right. So remember that 0 for dominance meant the non-dominant, they got the non-dominant profile. 1 for dominance meant they got the dominant profile. 0 for motive meant they got the self-protection condition, and 1 for motive meant they got the mating motive condition. So again, I need the non-dominant mating. So go back here, non-dominant mating, 3.3, and that's going to be round to 3.33. So come back to my Excel, 3.33. Now I need the non-dominant self-protection. So non-dominant profile, self-protection, 3.22. Now I need the dominant profile mating. Dominant profile mating, again, that's going to, well, that'll be 3.43. And then the dominant profile self-protection. Dominant profile self-protection, 3.43. Now I highlight all of this, and then I do the insert column. Ta-da! Now I'm going to reformat it in many of the same ways. This time I'm going to keep this, though, because that's a legend now, and we need that. But we're going to change the axis in the same way we did before. All right. We're going to delete those. We're going to make it all Times New Roman. Now we're going to have the blue ones. You see how it only selects the blue ones but not the red ones? We're going to format data series, fill, solid fill, black, good, border color, solid line, border color, solid line, good. Now we've got to change it for the red ones. Click those. You see how only the red ones are selected. Right click, format data series, fill, solid fill. Actually, we need this to be a pattern fill, so I'm going to select pattern fill. Choose one of the diagonal lines, border color, solid line, it defaults to black, cool. We're done with that part. Now the only thing left is to put this y-axis label. So we're going to pull this over. We're going to insert text box. We're going to center it. We're going to make it Times New Roman. We're going to make it 12-point font. Type impressions. Then we're going to change its orientation. Boom. And we'll move it over here and center it as best we can. And we are done. All right, guys, that is how you make a bar graph using the data from SPSS in Excel. you're just moving the data, and you make the bar graph in Excel. All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, please send them my way. If not, I'll see you all next week.